Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a few days, but there's been things going on that we won't discuss here. But we've had some things going on. But tonight's video, we're going to talk a little bit about a question I get a lot of times, which is farming profitable the way I do it? And we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, any of you guys that follow along know what we do. We do in the scheme of things, a small operation. We had 25 to 30 acres of vegetables this year. If you calculate how many acres of hay we put up, not acres. Look at it this way: if we do 1 acre and do 2 cuttings, we'll count it as 2 acres. We do somewhere around 100 acres of hay. A little north of that, we've got a few cows. That is our operation. It is a part-time operation. I work a full-time job. I farm with another guy that he farms full-time, but he's got some stuff that he does on his own, and then we got stuff we do together. And like I said, I work a full-time job. We don't hire much labor at all done. We do it all ourselves, family. So in a nutshell, that is our operation. So when you're farming, it's a very simple math problem when it comes down to it. Inputs and returns. How much money, effort, time you put into it, and how much money you get out of it. At the end of the day, that's what farming boils down to. People do it because they enjoy it. They do it for other reasons, but simply put, if you are not making money at it, you cannot continue to do it. Period. So our farm is fluid. We lease most of the land we farm. We change crops from year to year. This year we were heavy on sweet corn. We had sweet corn, pumpkins, a little bit of cabbage, a few watermelons and cantaloupes, and some strawberries. Our sweet corn done really good. We had a strong market and good prices, high demand for it. Strawberries were a 100% loss. Cantaloupes and watermelons were a 100% loss. And our pumpkins were off probably by 30% in yield. So when you're farming, the inputs, there's a little flexibility. For instance, you can go out and just put a X amount of fertilizer on a piece of ground, hope for the best. You can do a soil sample and do exactly what you need for that crop and that soil. You can save some money there. And you're should get a better crop on the backside. So the factors that go into a profitable farming operation is your inputs and your returns. And your returns are based on your yield and the price, and the amount of that yield that you can market. Marketable yield is what we're talking about. And what I mean by that is if I grow 1,000 bushel of corn, it yields 1,000 bushel, but I only sell 800 bushel because 200 bushel of it is subpar quality, or there was no market for it that week, or whatever. Now, of that 800 bushel, some of it might have brought $10 a bushel, some of it might have brought $12 a bushel, some of it might have brought $14 a bushel, some of it brought $16 a bushel. So if we grew 1,000 bushel of corn, we sold 800 bushel at an average price of $12 a bushel. That's what you're making. That's what it boils down to. So a lot of times people will, when they're planning a farming operation, they'll look at this variety of corn will yield between 100 and 150 bushel per acre. So they'll base their projections on that 150 bushel. Last year, corn was $10 to $18 a bushel, and they're going to figure it at 150 bushel an acre at $18 a bushel. In reality, that won't happen. So it's actually better if you're projecting to go on the low side. So farming the way we do it, is it profitable? Yes. Are we getting rich? No. it We're not involved in any government programs. We do not insure our crops. So what they make is what they make. And what we do is we put a lot of effort into producing the best crop possible. And when I say best crop, we're not only looking at yield, but we're looking at best quality, so we can sell more of it and there's a better demand for our product. So that's one way we try to slant the income side in our favor. On our input side, not hiring labor is where, we park the tractor and get off of it and work. And that is where we make that happen. Is it easy? No. There is a lot of weeks during the summer that I will, with my 40-hour-a-week job plus the farming, I'll be close to 90 hours a week. That's okay for 1 week. Tolerable for 2 weeks. 5 or 6 weeks in a row, it gets tough, real tough. And I'm not the spring chicken I once was. 25, 30 years ago, it wasn't too bad. That was 25, 30 years ago. Been a little water under the bridge since then. But, a lot of times right now, we're sitting here December. There's snow on the ground outside. I'm sitting by the fire. A lot of times we focus on May to October as when we make or break our farming operation. But right now is a good time to plan, work out a plan, look at areas you can cut, look at areas where you can increase income, stuff like that. Put some thought into it. Don't hook the tractor up, go to plowing, go to seeding, go to disking. Where you going to sell it, who's going to buy it, are they going to pay you enough to make it worth your time? Looking at what varieties. Some varieties yield more. Some varieties do better for your climate, your soil type, your rainfall amounts, average rainfall amounts, stuff like that. So if done right, it can be profitable. Now, they are always the X factors. Weather is one. Weather is another one. And weather's another X factor. The weather you have no control over. You can kind of hedge your bets by different planting times and stuff like that, but still, the weather's what is going to be what it's going to be. The markets. This year, with all that was going on in the world, there was a demand for food, and that drove the markets up on what we were growing. In years when there's economic issues, a lot of times the pumpkins and luxury type items will be harder to move. Your high-end specialty crops will be a little harder to move, whereas your staple crops, corn, beans, and potatoes, will move well. So, there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes if things are like that, you can get a little more creative in your marketing, expand your markets, diversify your markets. But, it is what it is. But, that's kind of the approach we take. One thing to remember about farming, if you're farming for income, it's a business. If you're farming for yourself, it's still a business. I know a lot of people that grow a garden that spend more money on the garden than they can buy the produce for. Now, there's other reasons to grow a garden. You know where it came from. You know who grew it. You know, the satisfaction of growing your own food and stuff like that. And I'm not discounting that. It's just, I know for a fact people will spend $2,000 on a garden for $500 worth of vegetables. So, you know, I've seen that happen a time or two. But moving on to another part of our operation, the operation is constantly changing. And, you know, we've added the beef cows, the Hereford, the registered Hereford cattle. And we are expanding that side. And we will see how far we go with that and exactly where it leads us. But along those lines, right now, that component of the farm has been it's in the red. We bought cattle, and we've sold 2 calves. So it's in the red. And I'm looking to buy another one. I'm looking for a Cavanese, a registered polled Hereford bull, young bull, that is good on heifers. You got one, give me a call or comment, let me know. I'm looking for one. And yeah, I want it registered. You know, I'm looking for a good numbered bull that's not related to any, that is of none of the bloodlines that I have. But so we're adding that too, and hopefully at some point we'll get to the break-even point on that, and then it'll start generating income as well. Right now, it's pulling away from the vegetable operation, but eventually we want them both to be profitable. And it's kind of hedging our bet, so if one's not profitable 1 year, maybe the other one will be. So that's kind of where we're at. But anyhow, that's a little bit about our operation. People ask me that question a lot. Thought I'd sit down and try to answer it. If you like what we're doing, want to follow along and see how we implement my ramblings here, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll know when we put up a video. If you see a video you like, give it a thumbs up. If you have a question or a comment, particularly about this video, please do so and we'll try to answer them. And until next time, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you later. Bye.